Hello. If everybody could come closer, that would be great, so that we can now show that we are all together in this. Chonte Jean-Marie Keito mà sẽ cho nó ấm tôi kêu là salu thì hông ôn thì hông shims thì hông nạo thì qalm chong tahwil أينما نتخلم أحقيقة خال سلوتو نم في كندا اسم جوكا دماس نم حاجتم ده to structure. Good evening. My name is Lish Lopez. I'm Maya from Guatemala, and it is great to see everybody here today. It is great to see people that you have taken the time to come and show the solidarity. Solidarity for the indigenous peoples and other peoples in Canada. Solidarity with other people, other indigenous peoples in Central, South America, the Philippines, Africa, and other parts of the world where the mining activity, the mining industry is having an impact on the lives of indigenous peoples and non-indigenous peoples. We're living at this very critical time in human history. As we all know, there are lots of issues, lots of problems that humanity is facing today. Global warming, pollution, and the mining problem. The companies see it as not as a problem, it is a benefit for a few. But for the people who live on the land, from the land, it is a big problem because it represents the destruction of their livelihood, of their existence. Just last week, I read an article in the Vancouver Sun. Probably many of you read it too. It's about mining. Vancouver is the global center for mining exploration. That is the world center for mining exploration. That is something to think about. Sure, we see Vancouver as one of the most expensive cities in the world. Just in Vancouver, there are 959 mining companies based here in Vancouver. It is mind-boggling. No wonder all the cost of living is so high. while other peoples, indigenous and non-indigenous peoples in many countries around the world suffer because of the mining extraction. It seems that people haven't learned, as we remember our history of lessons. The very thing that the Spanish conquistadores looked when they came to this continent was gold. And in the name of gold, many people got killed. That was almost 500 years ago. It seems that in 500 years, we haven't learned a thing. For us as indigenous peoples, not just Mayas, but all indigenous peoples, the land is sacred. There's a special relationship with the land. Land is not a commodity. The land is the mother that nourishes, gives us life, gives us what we need to live on. And so it is why that we call the earth our mother. The mother that has sustained humanity for who knows how many thousands of years. It is really sad. It is sad when you see the devastation that is taking place, the environmental devastation, the ecological devastation that takes place when mining is carried out. At this very moment, many people are being threatened because of defending their lands. Just to give an example of what is happening in Guatemala, only since 2000, 10% of the land mass has been sold by governments to mining companies. And we have to remember that the Maya territory is unceded land. Our ancestors never signed a piece of paper. Under natural and international law, it is our territory. We have been occupied, and so has other indigenous peoples. We recognize that other peoples also have the right to live. But when we see the massive destruction that is taking place through the exploitation of minerals, other natural resources, this cannot continue like this. We see many changes. Our spiritual elders have said, changes are coming and are happening already. But it's just the beginning. And therefore, it is important for us indigenous peoples, non-indigenous peoples, people like you and others, this type of activity, this type of action can help change the way of thinking, the mentality. We understand that in this modern world, we need to survive. We need to use the money, but it shouldn't be the end. it should be just a mean to sustain us. Just recently, a friend told me that there was a study that was carried out by which there is enough money in the world. I think there's about 7 billion people living on Earth today. But there's enough money that everybody could have $3 million. So where all that money is, it is concentrated in a few hands. I always think, and our elders always say, well, we only can wear a pair of shoes, so, one pair of clothes. We can only drive one car if everybody would have a car. Why do we need billions and billions of dollars? What for? But this is the very same thing that is carrying humanity and the world towards the destruction. And it is important that we have to help change the mind of the governments. The governments and the companies have to change their mind. People in Guatemala, more than 70 communities since 2006 have voted against mining, exploration, and exploitation. The Human Rights Commission of the Inter-American Human Rights Commission has ordered in 2010 the suspension of mining activities, Goldcorp mining activity in Sipacapa and San Miguel Ixtahuacan. But that was at no avail. The government didn't follow through. The companies continued activities as usual. So, if the UN Charter says that everybody has the right to self-determination, people have the right of self-determination, where is that? How can it be possible if governments have signed that? People, communities have the right to self-determination. Just last night, I got news from Guatemala by which the mining of El Escobal in San Rafael La Flores on the eastern part of Guatemala, one representative of the mining company shot 3 people, 2 in critical condition. So it is important for those people who are meeting here today to be reminded. We're not against development. As indigenous people, we're not against development. But I think it is the way how development is carried out. And it's not just, it shouldn't be just the material development, but it has to be the human, spiritual development. Because we're not all flesh and bones. There's a component, the spiritual part that we all carry, and that it has been forgotten. The Canadian government has signed all the conventions on human rights, has signed the ILO Convention 169, and the UN Declaration on Indigenous Peoples' Rights. So the Canadian government should be held accountable for that. We live in a democracy, and the people have to tell the government, and the government has to listen. So it is important that we all keep together and we walk together, and our voices will be heard sooner or later, and because the changes are coming.
Thank you, Lish. And the company that Lish mentioned, where the security guard this weekend shot several protesters, is Tahoe Resources. It's just up the street in the downtown, so we'll be going down there to visit them as well. We're going to proceed now on the tour. Our first stop is Mag Silver Corporation and Compliance Coal. It's a good combination because Mag Silver is working on an international level and is in serious conflict with farmer communities in northern Mexico, where a number of people have been shot resisting their planned mine there. Well, Compliance Coal is a nice local business. It's the one that is trying to develop the Raven mine in the Comox Valley, again, facing very large community resistance. So we thought it'd be nice to do that balance of both local and international. It's a bit of a walk. We'll be going straight down Hastings to Howe, but somewhere along the way we may run into a roving Canadian Pension Plan shareholders meeting to help break up the walk. So.